everyone, my name is Rage and welcome to our Afterbirth Plus mod of the week, and today it's more accurately mods of the week because we've got a splash of new features, a little bit of a hint of new enemies, a dash of some new mechanics, a just lovely couple tablespoonfuls of new items that come together beautifully poetically to make something truly special. And the two focus primary items for us today is one called Bank Shot, and what that means is your tiers effectively become pool balls, and they don't ever finish unless they hit a wall or an enemy. And you know, if you have bouncing tiers, that doesn't happen, so hopefully we find rubber cement. So how good is that to begin with? You just have loads of tiers forever floating that knock into each other a la billiards. And then this lovely floating prism around us dancing evermore is just amazing. Everything that passes through it will get split into the four colours and then continue to have whatever tier effects it should. And this, I felt, was a match made in Isaacinian heaven, because, you know, billiards are colourful, pool balls are colourful. Also, that zombie's brain is showing, and that is just rude in public. I imagine if zombies, ever took over the earth, if they ever ruled the day, they ruled the night, exterminated the humans, and eventually, slowly, somehow gained back their intelligence and evolved and became almost civilized people once again. I imagine if they were to have a formal gala dinner and invited all of their well-to-do friends, all of their well-to-do friends. I can't speak, but that's okay. If they invited all of their well-to-do friends, I bet it would definitely be a faux pas. It would be a social slip-up to have your brain showing. I could see it like a scandal instead of like a corporate newsletter CEO caught with his brain down. Oh my god, he's showing that person their brain, and it's not his zombie wife. Yeah, I could see it being a proper real thing. But yeah, look at this. Is this not just awesome? Ooh, can I pass? Oh my god, I can pass it through them in the air and then it explodes outwards. That is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. So I wonder what kind of items we'll get that will actually enhance this then. I very much hope that we do get something. God, we've just got so many tiers just chilling in the room. Is that not amazing? It's one thing we've never really had. Because of Synergy Lab and stuff, we've had lots of tiers in the room, but we've never had them just chilling. You know, they've always been flying around, going mental, wobbling around the place. And while that's fine and all, there's something very cool and very different about the idea of just permanent floating tiers. It's kind of extreme anti-gravity, isn't it? That's what I get from this. And, you know, if we don't find rubber cement, which I think is really the one main one that this needs to be super mega awesome, then I think I might just, you know, hook myself up with it. But for now, I don't want to, because I'm just enjoying this. But is it not incredible as I get rid of my maybe or maybe not naked steam? Not quite sure yet. Who knows? Shrug, shrug, shrug. Is it not just shrug, shrug, shrug? Is it not incredible? Just the quality of the items being made by the community. Is it not just ridiculous? Because both these items are arguably more creative than anything in the base game. They work really well. They don't look out of place. They're just absolutely fantastic fun and make a run just so entertaining to find them, you know? I absolutely love run-defining items. When you pick up your brimstone, when you pick up your technology, or when you pick up your tractor beam, you know, an item that really fundamentally changes how you're going to be playing and really adds so much extra than just the usual firing tiers. And that's what I absolutely adore from this, because it works so goddamn well. It really does. I have to applaud. Little golf clap here, everybody. Little tiny golf clap. Golf. And it's just awesome. It is absolutely flawless, absolutely flawless. And today we had, yes, just today, not this floor, this round, no, today I have the blessing of knowledge. which meant I could apparently see the key rooms on the floor. So the other mod that I've got on does add positive, well, I don't want to call them curses, because if they're positive, they're not really a curse, but you get what I'm saying with that now, don't you? Although a blessing of knowledge would be a very big burden in real life, because imagine it, you're chilling, you're in bed, you've woken up, you don't want to get up because you're in bed, you're in your nice, warm, comfy, cozy bed, and everything else sucks, you know that feeling where it's just like, just one more hour, okay, now just one more hour. Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get out of bed. I want to become one with my bed. I want to melt into the mattress and become a mattress man and fight crime using mattress-based powers. Talk about springing into action, because like mattress springs. But no, like all well-to-do gentlemen, your mattress should indeed be filled with goose feathers. Either way. Either way, when you're in that kind of sort of zone, you know, everything's just kind of hazy, you're enjoying just chilling before you have to get up and face the day. Imagine if you had the blessing of knowledge and you suddenly knew everything. Absolutely everything there was to know. It filled your mind to the brim with the knowledge of the universe. But only for that day. Only for that day. How would you even utilize that? With infinite knowledge, could in 24 hours you do anything meaningful? Because you couldn't exactly write stuff down, because the day after you wouldn't even understood what you wrote, because it wouldn't make sense to you anymore. So, in that sense, it wouldn't really work out. So you'd have to just use it. I mean, you could do stuff like, well, I guess it's not necessarily intelligence, is it? Because I was going to say you could do stuff like really smartly investing for a day and make millions with some smart moves, but I more see it as you just know things, not necessarily know how to do things. So you could answer the question, what is the meaning of life? You could answer the question, how do we go faster than the speed of light? But in terms of application, I'd say it's different, right? Knowledge and intelligence are inherently two separate entities occupying the same space and working in tandem to provide an intellect for the person in question, right? Because I can know equations, I can know maths, I can know what certain things mean, what they denote, but then actually using them together to solve problems is not something I feel really too confident with, let's be honest. So that would be the actual application part, right? Because knowledge without application is inherently useless, perhaps? So if you knew everything, but not how to do everything, then that would be an interesting scenario for you to have to deal with for the day. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's an impossible question to ask. It's like, yo, what would you do if you knew everything? And you're like, yeah, sure, Rage. I'll just quickly know everything, and then I'll tell you what I would do, you jackass. I realize it's not something that's quantifiably answerable, but at the same time, I do think it is definitely very ponderific, and I do love me some ponderific, god damn stuff. Lusty Blood is not bad, you know. I'm a little bit sad, don't get me wrong, but Lusty Blood will indeed do, because we have the potential to grab a lot of items there, but that is fine. Because the thing is, when I'm showing a mod off, I kind of, you know, I want to show its potential, because let's just do a normal run where nothing particularly special happens, kind of feels like I'm not really doing the mod too much justice. So if we don't find anything like straight up what I would consider, yeah, that is neat, by the end of the next floor, I think I'll add myself some rubber cement. Let's get some shot speed up. And you, the moon, don't really care too much about the moon. Ooh, one of the new items added by the more wholesome mod that I have got on. Let's have a look, shall we? Satan's Contract. Wow, we gained a lot of damage there. We are flying. We've gained some absolutely sexy horns. And all in all, that seems pretty good. But surely this isn't just +5 damage and flight, because that is ridiculous. I mean, it said beware the fine print, so perhaps I'm going to come to regret taking that deal. Perhaps there's going to be some sort of backfiring going on. I am very very, very scared for what's going to happen here. I mean, our damage has suddenly ramped up very, very nicely. Oh, we've got giant balls filling the room. That is great. I tell you what, I tell you what this really reminds me of. A ball pit, which, by the way, is the best of all pits. If I ever found somebody digging a hole, you know, if they were just merrily going at it, shoveling dirt, digging a hole, and they went, yo, you, and I'm like, me, and they're like, yeah, you. I'm like, cool, what's up? And they're like, look, I need your advice as a man to man. What should I do with this hole that I'm digging? Well, I would be like, fill it with balls, my friend, and you jump in and have the time of your life, and you'd owe it all to me. And that is what needs to happen, because ball pits are amazing. If any of you, oh my god, those flies of bombs have balls. That's an interesting enemy type. I'm not sure why somebody felt the need that needed to be a thing, but, you know, I accept. I completely and utterly accept. That's fine. So what do you guys think of this so far? I really, like, absolutely adore these items. Ooh, a freaking Doug Trio version and then a four-eyed version. That's kind of cool. That really is cool. I really hope that both these items do make it into a booster. I really do. A little bit of a booster pack, because the first one's got some really good ones in. Don't get me wrong. God, look at that. Is that not just awesome? Spreading them all out as they hang in the air. Oh, glorious, glorious day. Alright, we got Speedy Chub here, which might be an issue. Just gotta get my tears rolling. Get some... there we go. Now that's a lot for it to run through. Come on, come at me. You know, you want to. I just love that they bound off each other and stuff. I think that is really, really cool. And we got ourselves another devil deal. Let's have a look what's going on in here. Just 3 chests. I was hoping for some hearts, so I can't really be too upset at this one. I don't think we found the item room, so I probably should go do that. Yes, indeed. But yeah, ball pits. If you've never been to a wacky warehouse in your life, you have had a really, you know, I feel sorry for you. I do. I got 99 problems, but a wacky warehouse enjoyment is definitely not one of them. Where the hell would the item room be? That is the question. I swear I've been everywhere. Oh, no, we got a room here. Then again, I think this room's just going to connect to the room that we have been to, so I don't think it's too much of a solution for us to have going on here. And don't worry, I will show you what mods these all are at the end of the episode. I'm not going to leave you hanging in that fashion. I would never be so cruel. But yeah, wacky warehouses, for those of you that don't know, and I've talked about them a bit before, way in the past, but I love them, so screw it. They are just basically giant soft playhouses that you go in, and there's just loads of little obstacles, and kind of like Total Wipeout, but in a big sort of compound and for children, I think is the best way I can describe it here. Come on, please. It can't just be the boss here, right? Like, nothing else in this entire room. I hate Curse of the Blind with a blind fury. But yeah, giant soft play areas, and pretty frequently, ooh, that's convenient, pretty frequently they do feature a ball pit, which is essentially just, you know, a giant hole in the ground lined with colourful softness and filled with colourful plastic balls to the brim, and obviously you can jump in there and kind of just sit there and, you know, try and swim through it. It's not the most swimmable of materials, but it's at least something. No, we'll re-roll you, and I mean, we'll get that, why not? Oh, that is very convenient. You know, out of all the ones to get on this floor, that is very, very convenient. I was about to say, actually, maybe I shouldn't do that, because there is a chance that it would just pop. Hang on, I took 1 full heart there. Is the downside of this item, which is flight and a crap ton of damage, so very good, that I now take full 1 heart of damage per attack, irrelevant of what it is? Because I think that is actually genuinely what is happening here, which actually is a really big downside. That makes that a very nicely balanced item inherently. I'm kind of liking that. I think what we really need to really make these items pop, to really make this combo that we're mod previewing today work, is our piercing tears and rubber cement. I think that'll really take it to what we need. I think that's the way to go. Because the idea of me firing a billiard ball so hard that it passes through someone, that's kind of cool. Because everybody loves fighting with billiard balls and pool cues. That's just how the world works. Come on, give me some goods. Give me some goods. Give me... Ooh, what is that? Teal plotter. Okay, just randomly teleports me around the room. That's fine, I guess. I kind of don't mind that. Ooh, Eve's Mascara. That's a lot of damage up. And our tears aren't going anywhere, so I actually don't think that'll be too bad. Yeah, look at that. That's gained us a lot of damage, and then because they just chill in the room... That's actually not horrible. Again, I always rationalize Eve's Mascara of being, actually, that's not that bad. Oh, no. Oh, it's just barely doing anything. I'm gonna have to just... Oh, God, yep, it's done it again. Why do I always do this to myself? Why do I always do this to myself? Fortunately, I've kind of got a synergy that can kind of handle it. Oh, we got our ball flies back again. That is lovely, but oh, God. Fortunately, again, we do have a synergy that can kind of cope with this, but not crazily. What we got in here, nothing too ridiculous. And the Hermit, nah, it's good, it's good, it's good. It's all good, it's all good. And we found ourselves the boss, which I guess is... at least something. Oh, god damn. It's just so awkward, isn't it? It really is. But yeah, ball pits are amazing. Well, technically speaking, they're amazing in principle. Because, you know, you've got a giant pit filled with plastic balls and you can swim around it. It's like a sea of colour and amazing, you know. And that's wonderful and stuff. But there is the inherent issue that obviously a wacky warehouse is meant for kids. Which means there are a lot of kids in there. I know, shocking. Absolutely shocking. But... that means there are a lot of running around screaming happy children, and what do run around screaming happy children do? Well, they work themselves up into quite, you know, a state, which means that they end up being, well, they sweat a lot. There's no beating around the bush here. That's actually really convenient. That saves us a little bit there. And that means that ball pits tend to just be absolute cesspits of... I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you know what I mean. Ooh, what are you? Damage up, evil up, you feel scared. Ooh, did we just make permanent Curse of Darkness? These are some really cool items that we've got going on here. I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, that is really good. Oh, no, we just actually have Curse of Darkness on this. Unless we don't, and it was just because... hang on, when they explode, oh, they can turn into tear effects. We have permanent spinning death in the air now. That's kind of cool, admittedly. That is very, very cool. But yeah, basically they become giant pits of child essence. And I know that's not a good sentence to say, but there's no other way to describe it. Like, legitimately, that is what is going on. It really is. Hang on. I didn't just lose one heart. I just lost a whole red heart container when I just took damage there. That's pretty ridiculous. Maybe I really should have read the fine print. That was probably a mistake on my part. Admittedly, that was probably a mistake, but I am sure this will be fine. Fortunately, in Mod of the Week, doesn't really matter if/when we die, because we are in a position where, yeah, we'll take halitosis, that's fine at this point, where we've seen the mod, we've had fun, it doesn't matter how far we get. Ooh, demon bonies. I never thought I'd have to fight a demon's bone, but I guess that is something that I have to deal with. Ooh, careful. Careful, careful, careful. Ow, why won't it die? No, I do not need Wub Wub Worm. I really, really don't. That is something that I can definitely do without. Not Wub Wub Worm, sorry, Slow Worm. I think Slow Worm would be an absolutely terrible decision here. I am concerned for, well, just general well-beingness here. I really, really am. Oh, God, it's not good. It is just not good. Okay, down we go. Yay, rainbow! doesn't really help, but what are you gonna do? At least it makes me feel happy knowing that there was a rainbow in the room, because, you know, a rainbow doesn't inherently fill you with happiness. But yeah, when I was a kid in the ball pits, I didn't really realize just how, you know, technically actually disgusting they are until when I got older. Unfortunately, I was at a point where I no longer went in them because, you know, that would be weird. Just a grown-ass man just like, yay, let's Wuggy Warehouse, come on, children, let's play. At no point should anyone be yelling, come on, children, let's play, when you are not, you yourself, a child. I think that is something we can all agree. Unless, of course, you know the children in question, in which case that's fine. Either way, I do remember distinctly a couple times diving into a ball pit and finding pairs of socks, because apparently kids just let their socks come off their feet in there. So that's always a good sign, isn't it? That's always a good sign when you got loads of child feet in a confined environment. That's just terrible. But the one that most stands out to me, most distinctly and thoroughly, is the time that I thought the ball pit was empty, and I was like, oh my god, I get one to myself. Like when the communal pool on holiday is empty, and it's like, oh, that is just the best thing right here, yes! And basically, it looked empty and everything was good, and I was like, alright, I'm excited, I leap in, and everything is great, and then I start moving around the balls, because you kind of like splash with them is the best way, you like move them around and throw them, and while doing so, I was kind of still just like digging into the ball pit with my hands, using my forelimbs as shovel diggers. Yep, that's a sentence and a half right there, and I kind of like felt almost like I'd hit buried treasure, and I was like, why does this feel weirdly solid? And I kept doing it and uncovered it, and then there was just a kid's face staring back at me with his eyes closed, and I did have this moment of, oh my god, he's dead. But obviously, I was a little bit naive and still a kid, and then, like, he opened his eyes, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ! And he looked at me, and he was like, hi! And I'm like, hello, how are you doing? That's, not something I expected to, ow. Not something I expected to, ow. Can I just kill you? Yeah, roll through all my crap, that's what you get. That is what you get. Well, I guess we need to take this, and, oh, of course it's Krampus. Of course it is. You know, out of all the things it could have been, oh, Krampus is dead. That kind of works out for us. Does this mean it's going to slowly grow in the air? Oh, that would have been great if the lump of gold just made them slowly grow and grow and grow in the air. So my reaction to finding this kid staring at me, oh my god, that is a fucking demon brimstone host! Oh, Christ! That is not something you ever want to see! My word! That is not good! What the hell? What the hell? That is insane. Absolutely insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. So, everyone, if we make it past this floor, I do have a little bit of a surprise for you. I don't know how likely we are going to make it past this floor, but I do have a little bit of a supplies? Yes, supplies! And we're going to ramp things up with another item that I've been tucking away, that I've not really had yet, not really experienced, but I think sounds absolutely amazing. And it goes by the name of Technology Zero, and it's one of by far and away the coolest custom items I've ever seen. And if how it works is how I really am dead. After all that hype! And I'm back, everyone. I don't want to leave you on a note like that. Look into my eyes. Look into my glowing, well, not really glowing, but look at my stricken, oh my god, I've seen some shit eyes. You may be thinking, what's up with that? Well, this is the Technology Zero item I've been telling you about that I wanted to show you a little bit later on, because it should work excellently. Like the trio of bank shots, so my tears never go away, they hang in the air. The prismatic split them into 4, and this should be a Trinergy synergy made in heaven. Okay, it should be. So, what happens then? I also got bouncing tears, because we need them to stay. Is now, whenever my tears get close enough to each other, they will just have a permanent line of electricity connecting them. So if we separate these out, yes, it works exactly like I wanted it to. Oh, how amazing is that? So we've got basically the same kind of damage, etc. that we were on before. You know, I don't want to artificially ramp myself up any more than I have done. And look at that. Is this not just a beautiful trio? It really is. Let's head on then and actually get this going on, because it's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, I uncovered this kid in the ball pit like a weird form of archaeology, and my response when he woke up was to basically just slowly start shoveling the balls from the ball pit back over his face and pretend like it's not happened, you know? I think that was a good decision by me. I guess we'll have betrayal, why the hell not? And I think it ultimately worked out for the best. But yeah, how freaking cool is this? Just such an awesome way of having an extra technology, because it really is the last frontier of technology, because I don't think there really is inherently anything left we can do with electricity to make this any different. I feel like we have all the different ways that technology can be used here without it being too similar to something else. I mean, I could be wrong. Oh, the void, the void, the void. But I think for now we shall void on the void. We got Bob's Ron head, we got the wig, we got the halo of flies. Okay, so I guess what I should do, right, is absolutely fill this room with loads of these, right? And then inherently, if I just go around, split them all, do all of that, I wonder how many waves of the boss rush I will get through by just leaving this here. Oh god, my frames! My frames! Alright, we need to take something out. We will take these, and here we go! Let them rain! Oh my god, this is amazing! This is absolutely amazing! They're just spawning and dying in the fields of perpetual electricity! Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Oh, you're going to live for a few seconds, but nope, there you go. You are so very dead. It's actually struggling to connect them all. Oh, the glorious potential. The community has made some unbelievably incredible things. They really have. There is just absolutely no denying it. I've not even had to move a muscle or press anything, and the entire boss rush just got electrocuted to death. God, I would love to play an electrified version of Pool, wouldn't you? That is amazing. Like, if you fail a shot or if you foul, then you get like electric zapped because you're like attached to the table and it's made out of metal and there's current sparking through it, like a real hardcore, super dangerous version of it. Is this guy happening to be in a place that is not getting affected? There we go. He is very, very dead. So let's not put any more down than this, I think, is what I'm learning here. I don't want to accidentally convert any more into 4 because, you know, might end up dying. Ludo technique, I feel like that will ruin this completely, so I am not going to grab that. Then again, it definitely is something I'm like, ooh, I wonder how that works. It does, because Yoda is very curious. So there's a lot of cool stuff to play with. There really is. It might definitely be worth having another little Bob on this and seeing how it is. Good old little Bob. Well, I see, like little Bob. Much better than Big Bob. Big Bob is just the worst. In a big room like this, it's kind of hard to get going, but imagine if I didn't have the billiard shot, so it just ended up being that while they were in the air, they were connected with electricity, because that's what makes it so strong, because they never actually drop out the air. They're just in a situation where I get this permanent electricity backwards and forwards, and that is just so satisfying on so many levels. It really is. That was a regret, admittedly. That was definitely a regret. I feel like I'm probably going to die again, because I found pills. I'm multiplying, and I wish I could kill them all. Yep, jump into my lightning. It's very, very frightening. Let's explode it all. I do love pool and snooker as games. It's one of my favorite sports to watch. I enjoy watching the professional players do it, because there's some real attitude going on with what they're doing. Because inherently, you know, it's not the most active thing in the world, but there's just the real culture of everything that goes on is really awesome, because they do seriously attitude each other all the time. Like, they front while they're taking turns, taking their shot. I seriously have spent hours and hours and hours of my life watching professional snooker players go at it. I've also spent hours and hours and hours of my life watching professional snooker players play snooker. Ayo! Subverted your expectations for the purposes of humor. Oh, that's how it's done! Right there! But no, I really, really do like it. In fact, I used to actually be part of a snooker club. I used to go all the time, but they weren't a big fan of me using the snooker cues as swords. They also didn't like it when they get thrown around. I mean, little tip, never throw a snooker cue at someone, even as a joke. They tend to get a little bit antsy at the fact that they nearly got impaled by a very long wooden pole. And, you know, thinking back, I could understand it, but the innocence of youth is a very, very strong thing. A very, very strong thing. How do we think this will interact with the hush? That's something I'm wondering. How will this actually work with the hush? Because there's a lot of different ways that could go down, right? I mean, admittedly, it's probably just, going to sit there zapping him slowly, surely, until he dies, right? Because the electricity will just permanently be through him, but at the same time, there is always that chance something else happens, and it's, science is exciting. I mean, science is exciting when we're firing arcing lightning at our enemies. I guess that is very much a thing. I mean, actually, how many kids probably go, when I grow up, I want to be a weapons developer? Is that a thing? That must be a thing, right? Because there are people doing that as their job. So there has to be a point at which someone goes, you know what? I want to research new deadly and creative ways to kill my fellow man. And at that point, haha, we actually found it. Does this mean we can get 2? Oh, I thought we could get 2. That would have been really cool. I can't believe we found it naturally. What are the chances? Because what I don't get are people who do mod show-offs, you know, because obviously there's a lot of people who do mod showcases, but then don't actually give themselves the relevant items or do it in a way that really shows it off and makes it cool and creative. They just play a normal run with the hope that they happen to bump into the relevant item, and I don't get that. Hey guys, today I'm going to show you off a really cool new mod. Hopefully we find it in one of these item rooms, otherwise what effectively I'm doing is just a completely normal run. I hope you're all cool with that. So my issue right now is I've completely encircled him with lightning, but not exactly done anything more. There we go. Oh, that is glorious. And by the way, I don't know if you've been hearing it because it's very faint, but it does have the sounds of billiards actually hitting into each other. Yes, keep moving into my lightning. I don't know if I keep one add more. I feel like I might regret that, but that is just awesome. I could pen in some dinosaurs with this electric field. I really could. It's just so gloriously done. The hush is just trapped like a dangerous animal in containment. Well, like the aforementioned dinosaurs. I basically just said the same thing twice, but I was so excited by the notion that I just kept on. Okay, sometimes the motion of the notion just really gets the ocean lotion going, you know? Ocean lotion, also known as sunscreen. God, I hate sunscreen, but I do love sunscreen because it protects you, but I hate sunscreen because it's so sticky. But at the same time, you can get good quality ones that aren't as sticky with a higher protection value. Depends how much you pay for your sunscreen. That looked amazing. I love it when the hush dies, because when the hush dies, we get this beautiful light show treat that, makes it great. It really does. Then again, you guys might prefer it if the run showing off a mod is more normal. I don't know. I mean, this is definitely the style that I enjoy doing it. The style I think works for me. Over the top. Let's take this mod. Let's push it to a really cool synergy extreme and just have fun on a run. And I think that's a nice way of doing things. I think it gives you, more options than just the default. Let's just do a normal run and see what happens. I don't know. I think there's no right or wrong way to do it inherently. Hey, Blue Baby, how are you doing? You might actually be alive for a while until my electricity decides that it actually wants to do something with you. That would be really good. There we go. Looking lovely. Don't really care too much about the item that you dropped. I do wonder how this is going to handle delirium. Actually, it should be really well, because all I need to do is fill the room with lightning, and then the delirium teleporting around and doing delirium things is going to result in him just, what is this? Charity, light in pocket, heavy in heart. Well, I mean, I lost some movement speed, gained this cool symbol above my head, and gained a tiny bit of damage, so I have no real idea what that has actually done for me, but I am sure we will find out. Well, actually, no, I'm not sure we'll find out, because I probably will find out, but I won't notice, so inherently we won't find out. Well, actually, no, you guys will find out, because you'll notice, then you'll get mad at me for not noticing, tell me what I've not noticed, and no, holy water, sorry, but no. And then I'll find out, because I'll go, obviously, to the comments and be like, oh, that's what it does, oh, I'm an idiot. But then again, I already knew that, so it doesn't hurt as much anymore, but it still does a little bit, but I still love you guys, don't worry, and, you know, thus the vicious cycle continues. But no, I cannot tell you how much I am so an advocate for these items to be made real. Specifically, Technology Zero, the bank shot, and the prism. Because if these get real, imagine the synergy labs I could do with them. Oh, hot damn. Imagine the synergy labs. It would be amazing. It really, really would. And that is something I need in my life. Ain't that right, Monstro? Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's not delirium. That's just a free one-up. God, I love myself a one-up. Not that it really matters, because I don't think I'm going to die. Then again, I might die. One should never rule out the possibility of failure when concerning Rage Gaming. That is always something you got to consider here. 9 lives? I don't think so, because I'll just instantly fall over 9 times, and we won't get anywhere, because the delirium will almost certainly teleport on top of my face and make me a big disgrace and smear my guts, generally, all over the place, and he won't even be singing while doing it. You know, if somebody is at least gonna murder me, I'd much rather them do it while belting out powerful ballads, and I don't think that is too much to ask. You are not going to... Oh no, you did pop up. I'm proud of you. I really thought that the electricity counted as, like, damage being done, so he was just never going to pop up. Wow, I am getting very, very unlucky when it comes to finding this. That, however, is... pretty nice. I won't say no to a pact. What are you? Suicide King! Yeah! Wow, I found Suicide King followed by Death. I think the game is trying to tell me something, and I'm not sure I'm inherently okay with it. I'm really not. I do want to go back for that Spirit Heart, though, just in case. Because inherently, we've not got many more items other than the free. So just this combo by itself is just a superlatively powerful one. Come on. You can get Shocked Void Portal. Yes, you can. And we've got the big room. Oh, fortunately, it's just a bat room. Normally, these big rooms have the potential to just be... oh, so goddamn irritating. They really do. Isn't that right, little jumpy thing? I'm going to call you Steve. And now I'm going to say... last rites for Steve. Oh, I feel like I only just met Steve the Jumper, but I feel like in that time we grew close to each other. I remember it like it was moments ago. I walked into the room and he hopped slightly to the right, and then I murdered him with electric floating colourful prison balls, and I was content, and I like to think that he was also content, and that is why I will always love him. I will always love him. Ain't that right, Delirium? Yeah, that's right. You know what's up. Okay, let's get ourselves electricity coating the room. And then again, I don't actually think I even need to slightly concern myself with where Delirium is. I just need to completely coat the room in Death, and he should basically just do the work for me. Alright, we've reached the point where the frames are starting to drop, so that's the point I've got to leave it. So, yeah, Delirium, whenever you're ready, just kind of like pile through this middle bit, and you're going to have a whale of a time. You absolutely are. Come on, any second now. Don't hide in the corner, you bastard. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yep, get the hand in here, looking good. I'll just tank your damage. You think I will? I will tank so hard. I do love Delirium from a, you know, a idea from how it looks perspective. It's very, very cool. Like being attacked by living sentient Play-Doh. It'd be terrifying, but I'd like the experience. Alright guys, that is your mod of the week. Like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more. And I will see you next time. God, look at that. Ah, it's just awesome. Oh, good boy. I would show you the mods. It's Bankshot, Technology Zero, Thought, and All the Dozen Holy, and Mum's Closet. These two are the kind of new enemies, new curses, new blessings, stuff like that. So, yeah. I am really tempted to do banning of Pokemon Plus. Like, that's on my radar. I just kind of want it to be updated a little bit more. But either way, a goodbye.